Hello, everyone. And by everyone, I mean just me, because I don't think anyone's here. Let me get up the Discord. Live notification. Okay. We're here. Another stream. It's been, I'm pretty sure, a week. I feel like I only stream on Fridays now. Or not that I feel like that's actually what's just happened. Not AI. Oh my god. EliteAri. 6 days ago. That's not bad, right? Oh, did I stream on a Thursday? I don't think I did. Right. Yeah, it's me. All right, let's go through Twitter, as we typically do. A little early today, EliteAri. True. But also not really true. I think I usually try and stream like right after work, but you know, streaming soon, 55 minutes ago. Okay, let's see. What have we got? Probably not much. I showed this bird brain thing last time. Cool euro on a lamppost or like a stoplight. I don't know what you call this, but very cool. Excuse me. The Sherlock discussion happened. How many views do we think? I'm thinking 25 views. Well, hello. 17 views. Oh boy. It is kind of interesting how few views this gets. Like, it is by far the least successful thing I've ever produced. It is really interesting. And I wouldn't have predicted that. I would predict, like, some... I don't even know. Like, is it really the most, like, uninteresting thing I've done? Surely there's, like, more uninteresting things, right? Like, my Umbrella Academy, I guess it's, like, a popular recent show. Jackie Brown, that got more things. I don't even know. Is it actually the most, let's see. Let's sort by ordinary Ari content, okay? Let's see the popularity here. It's got less than the Beast Games review. Oh, we'll see. You know what? Maybe it'll get more over time. Maybe it'll blow up. I don't think it really needs to. The discussions are fine. I don't really have much to say about them. It is impressive. We talked for an hour and a half about Sherlock, you know. Like, the discussions, every time, every season, I've been like, you know what? I could imagine this going for 20 minutes, or I could imagine this going for 2 hours. And I think we do typically land on the multiple hour mark, you know, thanks to the great Kyle Entertainment, who knows how to talk for a long time, I'm sure. And thanks to my great recaps I've done in previous discussions, but anyway. Oh, this was the funny thing. Look at this. So there was like a meme by Mother's Basement. That man is interpolating anime to 60 frames per second. You know, a great scene from The Incredibles. And then Shaves replied and said, well, I don't know if it's a reply. Yeah, it must have a reply, yeah. He said, well, let's hope they AI upscale to 4K. Which, you know, if you know The Incredibles, you understand the context of this meme, and it's actually very funny. So I thought I'd repost it. I've consumed a few things. I think I talked about Tusk, right? I consumed Tusk. Oh yeah, Ciclet. I want Ciclet to find out that I watched Tusk, because I'm pretty sure he wanted me to watch this. Practical Magic, I think I'd also seen that. I guess I've just read A Series of Unfortunate Events, the first book. Part of my book club stuff. Have I ever talked about a book on Digest yet, or am I still that far behind? Surely I have. Did I talk about No Longer Human? I think I did. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Digest is coming up almost certainly this weekend. Okay, it is my #1 priority when it comes to YouTube now. Even at the expense of other videos I want to make right now. And streaming soon. Anyway. A little early, true. I already said that. Let's get into the trailer. Oh yeah, there's also... Alright, so there's a few things we need to talk about. The #1 thing is the Hasan thing. I absolutely want to talk about that because I have strong opinions on that. And then there's some other things as well. Let's see. It's just so impressive. It's earlier for me. That's what's funny, dummy. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize. There's like a time difference between me and Kyle now, thanks to daylight savings. That's actually interesting. It would be an hour early for everyone, wouldn't it? Didn't even cross my mind. Heath is here dabbing. I've got Claymore and Steins Gate recordings this weekend, Ari. Look forward to them. How exciting. I'll be watching both of them. You should have given them proper titles. I'm sure that's it, yeah. Minty said he watched them. That is true. He is one of the 17 people, I'm sure. Are you guys going to start collaborating on YouTube? Oh, yeah, I did. Firstly, I saw Heath, for context, Heath's talking about this new feature, I think, on YouTube, where if multiple people post the same video, then it shows up, like, both channels in the like, the description area. I don't know what he was linking it to. I noticed, oh, this, HBO Max and Game of Thrones, for instance. I noticed this a while ago, like, not a while ago, but like a week or two ago, for something else that I saw. And I almost messaged, I was going to message the Evangelion chat. That's what it currently is, I think. But then I realized, I think it's just if you post the same video across multiple channels. It's like, I don't know, are we really going to do that? I don't know. We'll see. What book club? I'm sure I've talked about this before. I know I'm in some book club thing. Kyle's behind the law, shaking my head. True. It's pissed me off. I didn't watch the digest yet. I haven't made digest in like 3 months, okay? But don't worry, it's happening this weekend. I've safely avoided all this Hasan discourse. That's great. So we can get a nice raw opinion from Kyle as we see the clip. It's funny this collab thing is something that Twitch did first when usually they're way behind. Maybe. Anyway, we can just start off with this trailer, right? This is the one, I'm assuming. I have, I don't know, somewhat of an interest in this, like a little bit. I know this is Dunkin' Egg or something, right? Which is... That's concerning. Am I still streaming? I don't know what just happened there. I should probably check my stream. Oh my god. For context, my entire screen just went black and it made a bunch of noises. But don't worry, it's happening this weekend. Wait, what? I have, I don't know, somewhat of an interest in this, like a little bit. I know. I'm so curious what happened on the stream. Egg or something, right? Which is... That's concerning. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Dunkin' Egg. George R. R. Martin, for some reason, really likes this. He, like, spent, I don't know, like so many years working on this. Oh, now my taskbar's in the way. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay. But do I have any interest in this? Yeah, kind of. I don't know. House of the Dragon was good. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was good, I think. I think I'm mixing up, like, The Last of Us... Because The Last of Us Season 2 I have very negative thoughts on. I think House of the Dragon Season 2 I have, like, fond memories of. I think I like that. The only thing I didn't like is that it just ended with, like, a cliffhanger, right? But, yeah. But, I don't know, more Game of Thrones. You know, I tend to like the Game of Thrones stuff. I saw Carmine using the feature on his channel, but Preston wasn't putting Carmine on his videos. Damn. Fuck Carmine, says Kyle. I hacked you, get wrecked. Thank you. Now, EliteAri, even though this trailer is boring, we're still doing this show. You don't have a choice. Oh, no, I'm definitely watching this, regardless. It's a Game of Thrones show. Until they get bad, I'm going to keep watching them, okay? Explain this book club. I'll talk about it in Digest. I think I already have talked about it in Digest. If I haven't, then I'll talk about it in Digest, okay? House of the Dragon Season 2 was a little weird. Was it? I remember liking it. It had the big climax fight. I remember the dragon thing at the end was kind of weird. I don't know. That was, it was fine. I liked it. Remember Damon chilling in the spooky castle for ages? Yeah, that was cool. I like that. All right. Let's just watch this. I'm not gonna have a single thing to say about it, but...
I was squire to Sir Arlen of Pennytree since I was a boy.
This definitely looks like Game of Thrones.
He charged me to be a good knight, to defend the weak and the innocent, and I swore that I would.
Are you Baelor Targaryen?
Baelor?
No.
Then would you move the fuck out of the way?
Oh, we got comedy. Oh no.
What's your name?
Sir Duncan the Tall.
Never heard of him.
Do you know every knight in the Seven Kingdoms, then?
The good ones.
I don't like the comedy. It's not doing it for me.
Ashford, I could swipe you, sir.
Rob me, and I'll hunt you.
Oh, I don't like it.
Dogs.
Oh no.
Dogs!
I'll get some.
Where?
Oh, it's like a Marvel movie. That's okay. It'll be fine.
Boy, stop gaping. See to my horse.
I'm not a stable boy, my lord.
Not clever enough.
Oh, why is it so much comedy?
Sometimes I think there could be more.
Oh god.
Why do you treat these royal lapdogs like they're your betters?
They are my betters. These men have a name. Training. What chance do I have? I have no chance.
Falling star brings luck to those who see it.
So the luck is ours alone? I need to fight honorably. But sometimes I think I buried my courage alongside the old man.
Within every man, there are many men. So be brave.
Is that a fake dragon? That was interesting.
Be just.
Be tall.
Is that it? Why why would you end on this shot as though it's like something cool? Or is this like something big in the book, I wonder? What a... First, this was a terrible trailer. Secondly, this looks incredibly not for me. Like, it's way too much comedy. And way too much like bad comedy. Comedy can be good sometimes, but not here. Even the serious bits kind of looked like weird and boring. The one thing is that, like, if this kid is like the main, like one of the main characters, then the kid is like a good actor at least. Like, that's somewhat redeeming. All right, that was interesting. All right. Really, I watched it and thought it didn't look or sound like Game of Thrones at all. This definitely looks like Game of Thrones, like visually. Like, if you showed me this, a screenshot, I'd be like, oh, is this like a Game of Thrones thing I don't remember? Like a flashback when they're like with Bran or something? Like the style of the show is there. Tone-wise, obviously nothing at all like it. But it definitely, to me at least, it feels like Game of Thrones. Like, even yesterday, or whatever, 2 days ago, when I saw this on TikTok, not this, I saw like a 2-second clip or something saying there's a trailer coming tomorrow. Even before I like looked at the description, I was like, oh, it's like a Game of Thrones thing? Like, I could tell immediately. So I think visually it is. I'm rolling on the floor laughing right now. Well, I don't know what to tell you. There's no way you actually like the comedy in this, right? There's no way. I don't believe it. I didn't even register to me there was comedy in the trailer. What do you mean? Every single line. Like, I would dare... it has to be intentional. They're trying to contrast, like, oh, it's like so funny and lighthearted. But guys, there's a serious dark side. And that's like what all this stuff is. And then ending on this thing, which is like the goofiest, like, oh, we're like charging at each other really slowly. And for some reason, this is climactic. I don't know. We'll see. They're jousting. That's super epic. That is not epic whatsoever. I mean, it was cool in House of the Dragon when they did it. I don't know what the difference is, but they did that really good, the jousting. This does not look engaging or fast-paced or interesting or anything. And trailer ending worthy? Absolutely not. But yeah. I didn't expect to hate this trailer so much. I was going in and I'm like, oh, you know, more Game of Thrones. I'm so excited. That kid is Egg. Oh, Dunk and Egg. Well, cool. He's the little guy. Great. Let's watch the Blind Wave reaction. Absolutely not. No, you know what? Fine. Let's do it. All right. Hey guys, we're not watching the whole thing. I'm gonna watch until they laugh at something, and then I'm gonna stop.
I was squire Sir Ireland a penny tree since I was a boy.
Before.
Is this the egg one?
Duncan Egg.
To defend the weak and the innocent.
Oh, Sir Duncan.
And I swore that I would.
Oh wow.
Are you Baelor Targaryen?
No.
Then would you move the fuck out of the way?
Yeah. Sorry.
You know, it's just like a little wheeze. Eric didn't say anything. We like it. All right. Anyway. Yeah. Now, Pluribus. That's a TV show I'm definitely gonna be watching. What is this? Is this a Stranger Things trailer? I guess not. Oh, no, didn't mean to click that. Anyway. It's supposed to be lighthearted. Lighthearted doesn't mean it has to be a comedy. Jesus. They'll be rolling in the floor too. I'm sure they will be. Okay. Why is this glowing? Oh no, it's my profile picture behind it. Okay. What else? I have a random link here. I should probably check what this is in case I accidentally pasted this. Oh. This was before Kyle watched it on stream.
Crunchyroll.
But I saw this on my recommended. The Enshittification of Crunchyroll, which I'm pretty sure had a different title before. I'm pretty sure it wasn't this initially. I could be wrong, but I remember I saw it on the side thing, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And then I don't remember the word enshittification in it, but that's pretty cool. But I've already seen this video, so we can't react to it on stream because Kyle Entertainment already watched this, and I watched it through his stream. But the gist of it, this is basically a summary of that article I was talking about last time, which I haven't gone back and read, in fairness. But yeah. One thing I did try and do is I went to the latest My Hero Academia thing, because I'm like, oh, that's like a recently airing thing that I'm going to watch one day. And I looked at the subs, and they just looked the same to me. And I was like, wait, has the change like not happened yet? But there's like, people are sending screenshots of like, oh, the subs look bad now. But it just looked like every other like Crunchyroll subtitle I've ever seen. So I don't know if they like went back and changed it or something. I don't know what to say, but I could not tell the difference. It was the exact same like drop shadow, exact same font, like, I don't know. But this was a video. I think this was like, do I have any strong opinion on this? It was like, this is pretty much what you'd expect from the title and from Mother's Basement. Probably like, I don't know, a little bit bad faith, like, or not bad faith, but it's probably good faith, but like not being very charitable, I guess, towards Crunchyroll, which is probably what you would expect from like a big creator in the anime space, which is fine. You know, he's advocating for fans rather than the company, which is fair. I don't have a strong opinion on it. Mother's Basement. Wait, has this Stranger Things thing gone? Has this Stranger Things thing gonna go on forever? Well, it's ending sometime at the end of this year, I think, unless they split it into multiple parts, but it is definitely ending. And I am excited. The last season, the most recent season, was the best one. Mother's Basement is a snake. He was a massive Crunchyroll shill until they stopped paying him. Well, I'm sure he makes enough money now where I don't think that's going to impact his decision that much, but who knows? Maybe he is being impacted by that, but I doubt it. Swearing in your title is cool. True. Is enshittification a swear? Maybe. I don't know. What did you think about that great Totally Not Mark video? I did not watch it. I probably will. It was really long though, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to commit to this. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. If it's underperforming for any reason, it would be the length, right? But yeah. Because there's probably a lot of people like me who are like, I don't have 2 hours right now to watch this thing. I expect the best from Mother's Basement. I definitely don't, but... Well, I probably do in general. Like, I like his videos, but not when it comes to, like, anything political. And the Crunchyroll thing's obviously political, right? Mother's Basement used to dick ride Crunchyroll so hard. True. Also, I don't know. I don't really know the history, so I don't know why I said true, but... Anyway, we have the Hasan thing to talk about, so... We gotta start. I mean, this won't take that long. It'll be like 10 minutes or something, but... First, we gotta watch the clip, okay? This is the clip. Can I zoom in? Oh my god, it'll let me. Let's see, guys. This is the clip.
But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America... Kaya, please just fucking go... Just stop. Jesus Christ. What are you doing? You're being such a baby. It's just... You're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
All right, we got the point, but that's the clip, okay? And this, obviously, I'm sure you've all heard about it, surely, that Hasan is getting viciously attacked by everyone on this. If you hand, let's finish off this thing. The Crunchyroll thing isn't political. Do you really think that? If anything, he hand waves anything about AI in Israel in that video. Well, where do you think it's coming from? It's a distrust of corporations, right? Which is like an inherently, for him, I assume it's like a political thing, right? I assume. It probably has to do with like the friends he's around, like the beliefs they have, and probably adopting that more so, right? I assume that's why he's against Crunchyroll in this case. We better be defending Hasan in this stream. Me defending Hasan? Come on. He gets mad at his dog like he gets mad at his chatters. True. Okay, anyway. Yeah, for context, you know, I am the biggest Hasan hater out there, so to keep that in mind, okay? I don't think I've ever said anything positive about Hasan in my life. Except for today, where I'm going to be defending this, okay? Well, not really defending it, but just talking about my... There's things I hate, okay? I hate it when people hate Mappa without evidence. I hate people who hate Mr. Beast without any evidence. And I hate people who hate Hasan without any evidence, okay? So there's one... Okay, this is like a little bit of a timeline I need to talk about, okay? Firstly, initially, what happened is... This is just my context and most people's context. Initially... Hasan's streaming, whatever, this clip happens. He gets posted across a bunch of places, like the Destiny subreddit, the H3 subreddit, the Livestream Fail subreddit, everywhere. And the clip is always titled, like, Hasan shocks dog using shock collar, basically. And that's, like, the big title, everyone's seeing it, whatever. And I watched the clip, and I'm like, oh my god, did he do this? This is crazy. Like, why would he do this? And then I play the clip and I see this, and I'm like, okay, so the title is obviously, like... There's no direct evidence in this that he shocked his dog with a shock collar. If anything, you should title it like, oh, did Hasan just like shock his dog with a shock collar or something? But no, it's like a very clear statement. All the comments are like, I can't believe he did this. It's very clear. He obviously shocked his dog with a shock collar. There's no other possibility. How could he do this? There's no way. It's impossible. Why would he do this? How did this happen? He's so evil. Hasan is evil. Like, and I'm like, Jesus. All from this? Like, can we not wait to like kind of see what he says about it, or like if other people talk about it, can we not like wait a bit? And I was like, Jesus, okay, so people really, from this one clip, think that he you know, shocked this dog with a shock collar. So I saw this and I'm like, you know what? I give it like a 5% chance. It's like very unlikely. I'd say, you know, it's not impossible. Like the dog does like yelp at a weird, like it's weird that the dog makes the noise. He does reach for something like midway through. It's like, okay, you know what? It's not impossible. I give it like a 5% chance. Okay. It's probably just like a funny, it's like probably a coincidence is what I'm guessing, right? Like my assumption is like maybe he, like if you want to say like the dog just happens to yelp, who knows? The dog can yelp for whatever reason. Like maybe he injured himself, maybe he had a mini heart attack, who knows? You know, a dog just makes a random noise. It's weird, but it's like not impossible. And he also reaches for something, who knows what he's reaching for. He could reach for like his phone, he could be reaching for some random piece of paper, it could be some stream related, like he's doing, I don't know what he has on his desk as like a setup. He could, for all I know, he could have like a second dog on his desk that he's like petting, that he like forces to be there and no one sees because he's like abusing that dog too. Like who knows? It's like a million things that could be on the desk, right? And to see people, this is the thing that frustrated me the most, to see people just talk about how like it's literally impossible that it could be anything else. The only thing that explains this set of actions, or this set of outcomes in this clip, is that he is shocking his dog with a shock collar. That's the only explanation. And I've seen like people say this like just everywhere, all over comments, all over Twitter. Like the person I saw say it the most that frustrated me, which is the streamer called Hutch, who I don't know anything about, but I know he's like a gaming and politics guy or something. The H3 podcast talks about him a lot. I was like, oh, this is like an interesting thing. Like Ethan says this guy's like a reasonable guy. Let me go watch it. And he was talking about how like, I've seen all this evidence and it's literally impossible. No other circumstance makes sense. And I'm like, really? You think this? Like, this is crazy. So that frustrated me greatly. The fact that people thought there was no other possibility. Anyway, that happened. Okay. And then the next day, Hasan has another stream. At the beginning of his stream, I don't know if it's like beginning. I think it was a little bit in, but it was like near the beginning. He brings up he addresses the stuff, talks to his chat, and then when the chat is like pestering him to show the collar, he goes and gets the collar from the dog, and he claims it's a vibration only collar. But in reality, like if you analyze, you know, the type of collar it is and look at the little markings on it and the way where place the charging port is and look at the model, like based on the little forensic evidence we have. And if we look at all that and the fact that he has a tape on the back and is going to be covering stuff, basically the gist of what you get is that it's very likely a collar that is capable of shocking a dog. Most likely. It's not guaranteed, but it is most likely from what people have been sharing, the evidence, and what I personally, when I went to look at it independently before I actually looked at any evidence, I tried to find what color it was and stuff and tried to see if it's possible that like maybe there's like the same model that came out older and the older version was vibration only, or maybe there's like another color that's identical but is vibration only, and or maybe it's like I tried to do my own kind of thing, and my conclusion was that it is almost certainly a shock color, but you know, maybe it's not, okay, but it's very likely, I would say. So what's happening is either that he directly lies when he's like doing the explanation the next time, like when he's saying, oh, it's like a vibration color, you know, it's not a shock color. Either he's lying, or he like legitimately just doesn't know, or he's like, he didn't know at the time, but now he like probably knows it's a shock color, and he's like kind of like, oh god, what do I say now? Like, I can't just admit it's a shock color. I didn't know it was a shock color. That's a thing. And then, so basically that stream, people find out like, after so day one, shocks the dog, you know, clip comes out, whatever. Day 2 addresses it by showing the collar. Day 3 he streams, which is today, where it's very common and everyone out there knows that like, oh my god, there's like strong evidence to suggest that this isn't just the vibration collar. He doesn't acknowledge it a single time, at least as far as I've seen. I watched the whole like 40-minute segment at the beginning of his stream. I watched the raw VOD. I looked at it and see if he would address it once. Didn't address it a single time. Now it is possible in the rest of the VOD maybe he addressed it. I haven't seen it. But not once does he even acknowledge that there's like a theory floating out there that it is a shock collar. When I'm like, god damn it, like why does he do this? Like it's yeah. So anyway, so he didn't address it at all, which is like the next thing that happened. And then another weird thing that he does is like during the first stream after the clip where he's like showing the shock collar, a chatter like leaves a message talking about basically justifying, like saying, oh, you know, like shock collars are actually not that bad and blah, 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 blah. And Hasan reads the message out and agrees with it. I'm like, okay, so if you're claiming it's not a shock collar, why are you defending the idea of a shock collar? So that was a little weird thing to me. So that's like, okay, it's like these weird little pieces of evidence or whatever. But But yeah, so all that happened. Despite all that, I still do think that he probably didn't shock the dog. And the fact is that, like, firstly, there's no direct evidence whatsoever that he shocked the dog. But the strongest point against, like, just anything else that would convince me is that Hasan knows that shocking his dog on stream is optically going to look terrible. And I don't know why he would risk it or do it live, like doing it like on stream. I don't know. I just can't. Like, you'd need a very strong burden of evidence to like kind of push me away from this defense of him. Like, I don't know why he would do this on stream and think he would get away with it, or think that like people wouldn't care. Like, I feel like he almost certainly knows it would optically look bad, and for that reason, I'm like, I just don't see him doing this. So that's like the main thing. Then there's like other small things. Like, I'm not aware of any history of him like abusing animals or whatever. Like stuff like that where I'm like, there's nothing really points me towards this. It's like so weird. And for him to do it like live on stream. It's certainly possible though. Like, he is being very vague in that next stream talking about the collar, and also the stream afterwards, he doesn't even address it. So it is like really weird and sus. I'm like, that's really weird. But yeah, if I had to guess, like I'm assuming, the little bit of context is that like he was the first day where it happened, this clip comes from, he streamed for like 2 hours or 2 hours and 16 minutes or something like that. You know, I've done my research, but he streams a little bit. And then his internet messes up and he has to like start his stream again. And he's like really annoyed about it. And then the time he, you know, quote unquote shocks his dog is right at the beginning of the next stream. So it's like when he's the most frustrated or whatever. So my guess is probably that he was stressed about like the streaming stuff, which is why he's like more agitated here than he normally would be, because this is the beginning of his next stream where he just like lost like half his viewers or whatever, because of the stream going down. His dog, from his perspective, is like acting up, even if it's like a minor thing. It's like, oh my god, why are you doing this? So he gets stressed even more, and then he goes to reach for something, like either compulsively, like when you're stressed, you're like, whatever, I'm just gonna like pick this, like god damn it, I'm gonna pick this the glasses cleaning thing up, or like, oh, I'm gonna like go and touch my like phone, or I'm gonna check my like chat, or like basically he does something out of stress. He claims that he picks up his Zins, which are like some, it's what, nicotine like something replacement thing, but he does something out of like stress or compulsion or whatever, and the dog just happens to yell at the same time. Like, it's just a really bad timing. This is my guess. Like, he turns to see, he looks at the dog, sees if it's fine. And it's like, okay, the dog's just like not doing anything. I'm a little frustrated. I'm not going to go and check. He looks fine. She looks fine. She's just like sleeping on the bed or whatever. So he assumes that the dog just like hit her foot on something, or just like something happened, because I'm sure it's done that before, you know? And then the next, like, that entire stream, he's too scared to like show the collar, because he actually doesn't know if it's a shock collar, or maybe he thinks it is a shock collar, but he's like, he's never shocked the dog before, so he's like too scared to show it. And that's why he like is so vague about it in the next stream. That's what I'm guessing. This is my guess, because it is such a weird thing for him to do it intentionally, knowing that people would notice, and that it's just, people are gonna hate him for it, and he would know this, and I don't know why he would do it. So to me, this seems like the most reasonable thing. It probably is a shock collar. I would say almost certainly is a shock collar, but I don't know if he knew, and even if he did know, he probably has never shocked it, but he can't admit that it's a shock collar, because then people will be like, people just assume that he shocks the dog like off camera or whatever, and he knows that's like too bad optically to admit to. This is my guess. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, let's see if anyone has anything to say about this, but yeah, I have more to talk about this, believe it or not, but that's the gist of it, okay? To give my opinion. But the takeaway is, number one, the thing that frustrated me the most, and the only reason I'm talking about this, is because people saw this clip that we just watched and were like, definitive, 100% he has shocked his dog. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this. So that was the thing that frustrated me the most. And then secondly, just to say what I think happened, you know, but not that I really care that much, but it's more the misinformation not misinformation, the strong opinions based on weak evidence is like a thing that frustrates me all the time. And I'm sure if you watch my streams, you know this. I talk about it all the time. Anyway. I think he actually cares about the quality of subs and other services Crunchyroll provides. I don't know. I could take that either way. Who knows? Maybe. That could be a part of it. The other part is the corporation thing, which I have no idea how big of a part that is to him. But yeah. High Entertainment says, I love Hasan. Oh, excuse me. I haven't even watched the clip, and it was obvious that this Hasan shit was retarded. I mean, it's not as retarded as you think. The fact that he's hiding the fact that he's hiding the fact that it's a shock collar, or almost certainly is a shock collar, is like, it's weird, really sus, but still, it's like a big hurdle to overcome. The fact that he would just willingly do it on stream, knowing the consequences. because I saw Chibi Reviews and Tectone talking very seriously about it. It is true, people take this very seriously. I didn't know we were allowed to watch attempted murder on this stream. Well, luckily we didn't witness that. I can't believe you're doing this while Miller the killer isn't here. That is true. I'm curious what Miller thinks about it. Cowardly behavior. He's reaching for the Glock, says Kyle. People are more retarded than ever EliteAri. They like Asmongold. Counterpoint is Hasan is a known moron. Yeah, but he knows optics, okay? I'm sure he knows that it's like a bad look to be shocking your dog on a stream. What a nothing burger drama. It's just a dog. That is true, but it is a big thing that people care about. So, you know, I don't know what to say. He's a smart guy. Can we bring up some Chibi Reviews tweets as evidence? I don't think so. I mean, if you link one, oh, you can't really. Well, if you link one, maybe, okay? I don't know, but all right, there's three other things I have in my notes, okay, that I want to talk about. One is that, do I care that he shocked his dog? If he did, like, not really. I don't really get, like, it looks, the dog, like, immediately goes back to normal. Like, I'm sure the dog's fine. If that was a shock. I mean, it's like a little bad, but like, I don't think it's that bad. Again, I don't really care or know much about dogs or anything, so I don't really care that much, but I don't know. The second thing is that there's like this big thing going around of people saying that, you know, even if he didn't shock his dog, he's abusing his dog because it's like the dog is forced to stay there the whole day. And in two regards, this is not true. Like, firstly, the dog does like walk around. Like, I've gone and watched old VODs to see if the dog does just like stay there the whole time. It doesn't. It does walk around. And the second thing that is, the second thing is that, like, we have no idea when he's off stream, like, what is the dog doing? Like, for all we know, he could be, like, playing with the dog the entire time. He could be going on walks with the dog. He could be, like, taking the dog somewhere the whole time, right? Like, we have absolutely no idea what the dog is doing outside the stream. So I don't think that's, like, anything at all. And the final thing is, like, does Hasan abuse his dog? Like, why was he so angry, you know? And I'm like, maybe? I don't know. I truly have no idea. Based on this clip, and I don't know much about Hasan's life, like, the IRL life or whatever, it's possible he abuses the dog. I don't have a strong opinion on it, and I don't know. But I do have a decently strong opinion on the shock collar thing, and I think he probably didn't, because it'd be kind of crazy if he did, but yeah. Can you believe it, guys? I'm defending Hasan. I never thought this would happen. Anyway. I think Miller genuinely believes Hasan tortures the dog off stream. Really? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? That was meant to say YouTube. There we go. Now, what has been linked to me? Firstly, Kyle's got a bunch of messages in his Discord server, which I haven't read yet. What is this? I hate making videos like this, but it's important to call this out. My blood is boiling from this entire situation. The evidence is damning. It's wild people are defending animal abuse and poisoning the conversation with politics. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a million videos like this already. It's just going to be... I don't know. Do I really want to engage with this?
Everybody on the internet
Let's see what he
is
says.
currently talking about this situation. People on Twitch, people on YouTube, people on Instagram, people on TikTok, Twitter, Reddit. You get the point. You even have massive news publishing sites like Forbes even talking about the situation. This situation has reached nuclear levels of controversy, and for very good reason. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Chibi, why are you talking about this? Because obviously, yes, it is a crazy thing going on, but at the end of the day, I am an anime manga channel that talks about anime and manga-related news, sometimes censorship and stuff like that. Well, the reason for that is because I'm someone that has two dogs that I consider my family members. I have a Shiba Inu called Casca, and I have a Corgi called Holo. They are beloved members of my family.
All right, so Casca is from Berserk. Holo, is that from Hollow Knight? What is that from?
I absolutely love them. I give them bunches of love. They always run around outside together. They enjoy each other's company. I enjoy their company. I let them lay in the bed with me when I go to sleep at night, and I have continuously posted pictures about them over the years. The point of the matter is I'm very passionate about dogs.
Oh my god. Bro, I don't care.
Is that you can see that the dog has been sitting for a while, and
I can't watch this. 17 minutes. Oh yeah, he's got the shock collar thing. Oh my goodness. Alright, anyway. True. Hasan bad. Heath will know what Hollow is. True. Alright. Kyle's gonna be so disappointed I clicked off the video, but here we are. Okay. So. I'm just going through my Discord to see what videos have been sent. But you can send this one. So Mr. Beast. Oops. Jesus. 10 years ago, uploaded this video. Hi, me in 10 years. I have already seen this. It's not very interesting at all. Like, if I was making a video like this, I would have gone into... This would be like a 30-minute video minimum, where I'd be talking about, like, everything. I'd be describing my entire life as it was at that point, and I'd be making very specific predictions about, like, what's happening in the future, like, 10 years from now. But in this, he basically says, man, I got an exam coming up. Do you remember the mark I got in that exam? I hope you do. Man, I have like 10,000 subs right now. I bet I have 1 million. Man, I'm probably married. And that was it. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, it's... The contents of his words are like not valuable at all here. What really matters is like the feeling of like, wow, this guy used to be like nobody 10 years ago, and now he's Mr. Beast, you know? But that's it. 34 million views. Read the comments. I've read enough Hasan hate comments. They all say the same thing. How many videos have come out? I know the only one. Okay. I was going to say how many videos have come out since that one. But if he does this while on camera to tens of thousands of viewers, imagine what he does off the camera. That's my argument. It's so, why would he do it on, like, it's no way he does it in front of the camera. It's so crazy. There's no way he would do it. He doesn't even give his dog a chew toy to pass the time. It's abuse, plain and simple. Still not banned. Let that sink in. You'd probably need evidence for it to be banned, right? Even Makima treats her dogs better. I mean, that's like Makima's whole thing, right? Alright. Crazy. Okay, next up. We got this. Yeah. Why is there a... Okay. So I'm getting so mad, I'm gonna shock my invisible dog. Wait. Every time I stream now, YouTube wants me to make it into a members-only live stream for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. We're gonna talk about Chainsaw Man, I guess. So Chainsaw Man spoilers. Also, I hate this aspect ratio, whatever this is. Oh my goodness. But so be it. I mean, actually, the aspect ratio is fine. I just don't know why it's in the middle of the screen, not like toward the left. It'd be fine if it was like on the left. Anyway. The truth about Asa and Yoru. So Chainsaw Man manga spoilers, guys. Also, I'm so excited for this upcoming Chainsaw Man movie. Also, I have started my rewatch of the Chainsaw Man anime. I'm 4 episodes in, I think. So yeah.
I wish I tried living just a little more selfishly.
So for context, how long was it? 2 months ago. Okay.
Those are the last words Asumitaka spoke before her death in chapter 98. But what if I told you that her story and her relationship with...
Well, she didn't die, right? Well, she kind of did, I guess.
The war devil Yoru might be the most psychologically complex narrative Fujimoto has ever written. Today, we are diving deep into one of Chainsaw Man's most debated character dynamics. Are Asa and Yoru 2 separate entities sharing a body? Are they one fractured consciousness? Or is the truth something far more complex than either explanation suggests?
Oh, no. Well, they're almost certainly 2 different, like, people. So, I don't know what this is going to be, but okay.
By the end of this video, you'll understand why their relationship represents not just excellent character writing, but profound exploration of trauma, identity, and what it means to be human.
Oh my god.
We'll be covering
Why are there subs for, like, every word? I guess it's, like, a very CapCut TikTok thing, right?
Everything from the Justice Devil arc through the current storyline, so spoiler warning for all of part 2.
Is like Star Wars music in the background? What is this? What does it even say? What was that? Oh, okay.
Let's start with what we know. Asumitaka is introduced as what appears to be a typical antisocial high schooler. She resents her classmates, wishes they would drop dead, and seems determined to remain isolated. But Fujimoto immediately shows us this isn't simple teenage angst. In chapter 98, we learn about her mother's death, crushed by a devil while Asa was saving a cat. Then there's the orphanage, where her cat Crambon was murdered by caretakers who told her it is unfair for Asa to still have a family member, while the other orphans have nothing.
True.
When the class president reveals herself as contracted with the...
I'm curious if this ever happened. Like, if this is even real. Or maybe it is like a figment of her imagination or whatever, or like a representation of reality which isn't true. Like maybe this is her mother for all we know, right? Like,
it is unfair for Asa to still have a family member while the other orphans have nothing. When the class president reveals herself as contracted with the Justice Devil and attacks Asa, we get those final words. I wish I tried living just a little more selfishly. Asa dies, and then she doesn't. The War Devil appears, takes over half of her brain, resurrects her as what the wiki calls a rare case of a living fiend host. From chapter 99 onward, we're told that they share one body, Asa retaining her human personality when Yoru allows it, but with Yoru able to read her thoughts while Asa cannot reciprocate. This seems pretty straightforward. Yoru needs Asa to blend into human society to find Chainsaw Man, and Asa needs Yoru to survive. Classic symbiotic relationship, right? But as we dive deeper into their psychology and watch their relationship evolve across the 112 chapters, cracks start appearing in this simple explanation.
Oh, wow.
To understand what's really happening between Asa and Yoru, we need to examine their psychological profiles, and Asa's psychology is built on a foundation of what trauma researchers call learned helplessness with intermittent...
Learned helplessness? How is, Okay, yeah, I'm sure he's going to explain. My understanding of learned helplessness, that's what I talked about in my Takapi video. My understanding is that it's like... oh god, I'm stretching back my psychology knowledge, so maybe I could be just wrong about this. But it's like when an animal like learns that no matter what they do, it like doesn't change their situation. So they don't try and do anything. So for instance, it's like this is my guess, okay? We're gonna check this later, okay? Just to double check I'm right or wrong. But say there's like the animal's like a cage and there's like a door, and the door is whenever like the person like opens the door or whatever, however, whenever the door's open, the floor is like shock like active or whatever. So whenever the animal like tries to go to the door, the thing will like it'll shock the animal so that they can't get through the door. And then like once you've done that for a sufficient amount of time, you then like disable the shock so the floor will never shock them. And whenever you open the door, the animal won't even try to go to the door because they've been like shocked not to go there or something, right? Or maybe not. Maybe that's not learned helplessness. Let me double check. Let's see. Oh my god. No, I need to be able to use ChatGPT on stream. What is learned helplessness? Give a short example. Condition where a personal animal becomes passive and stops trying to escape negative situations because they've learned through repeated failure that their actions have no effect. A student keeps failing math tests despite studying hard. Over time, they stop trying to study at all, believing no matter what they... Yeah, okay, so exactly what I said. Okay. So how is Asa learned helplessness with intermittent punishment? Like, she still lives life. She's still... Like, what doesn't she try? What doesn't she do? I'm curious.
Minute punishment. Her mother's death taught her that her choices have catastrophic consequences, what we might call a trauma bond with causation.
For it to be learned helplessness, you have to like stop doing a behavior. What's the behavior going to be, I wonder?
She simultaneously craves agency and fears it, because every time she's acted on compassion or love, disaster has followed. The orphanage experience systematically stripped away her attachment objects while teaching her that love is a zero-sum game. This creates, in essence, what we call an artificial moral compass. Asa doesn't make ethical decisions based on genuine moral reasoning, but on avoiding judgment and consequence.
Oh god, I need to watch that all again. Okay, that's way too much. Wait.
To understand what's really happening between Asa and Yoru, we need to examine their psychological profiles.
Yes,
Asa's
yes.
psychology is built on a foundation of what trauma researchers call learned helplessness with intermittent punishment. Her mother's death taught her that her choices have catastrophic consequences.
True. Okay, we believe this. That's fine.
What we might call a trauma bond with causation.
I don't know why that's there. That just confuses me. Trauma bond with causation. I guess that's just like a technical term. Okay. But her actions have consequences. Okay.
She simultaneously craves agency and fear.
She craves agency. What does that mean, I wonder? What does it mean to crave agency? Like, she wants to be able to save the cat?
Fears it because
but at the same time fears saving the cat, I guess? I guess that's what he's saying?
every time she's acted on compassion or love, disaster has followed.
So what he's saying is that Asa is incapable of love because she's learned that she'll be punished if she loves someone. That's, if I'm understanding correctly, that's what he said. Asa is afraid of love because if she loves, then she'll be punished. Okay, I think I get it.
The orphanage experience systematically stripped away her attachment objects while teaching her that love is a zero-sum game. This creates, in essence, what we call an artificial moral compass. Asa doesn't make ethical decisions based on genuine moral reasoning, but on avoiding judgment and consequence.
I don't know how that follows. But okay.
Her famous clumsiness isn't accidental. It's unconscious self-sabotage, a way of maintaining
It's accidental self-sabotage.
control by ensuring failure happens.
I am not following at all. So Asa doesn't love people because she's like scared it'll like punish her or whatever. Why is she acting? Why is she sabotaging herself intentionally? How does that follow?
On her terms rather than being blindsided by abandonment. Notice how she falls during her mother's rescue attempt, during important social moments, and when trying to connect with others. Now let's look at Yoru. As the War Devil, she's introduced with what appears to be classic narcissistic personality traits. She's confident, she treats opponents as warm-ups, and vows to defeat Chainsaw.
I mean, I'm already lost at this point. I don't know if the rest of this convinced me. I don't know what he's trying to say. Or I don't understand the argument, I guess. Anyway. You don't do enough to appreciate your members? That is absolutely true. Of course, the great video will explain the psychology thing perfectly. I mean, I don't think he did at all. But also, I don't know if any of this follows. But, you know what? Let's keep going. Why not? Let's just assume he's saying stuff that makes sense.
Man to reclaim her power.
I'm sure, also, it might make sense. I'm just not following it. But, yeah.
But dig deeper and you find something more vulnerable. Existential terror. Yoru is not just angry about losing to Pochita, she's terrified of being forgotten. In a world where devils derive power from fear, irrelevance equals death. Despite being ancient and powerful, Yoru demonstrates emotional immaturity that's startling. She throws tantrums, engages in black and white thinking, and seeks immediate gratification. What makes their relationship fascinating is how it functions as what psychologists call pathological symbiosis, two incomplete psychological entities merging to create something that appears functional. Yoru provides the
I think, firstly, I'm guessing what he's trying to say, and we'll see, maybe this isn't at all what he's trying to say, but you get to the end of the story where we are now, and Yoru is embracing, like, love and lust and, like, connections, and she, like, wants everything to be hers, and she wants, like, Chainsaw Man to fall in love with her, and she wants America she loves America, and America loves her, like, all of that is happening with Yoru. And then on the other side, we have Asa, who's, like, you know, she's shriveling away, and she, like, doesn't want connection. I guess I don't know if I buy that side. Like... And also, secondly, I think any of these, like, terms he's using, like, psychological terms, are just confusing me. Like, I think this would be much clearer if there were no, like, complex terms like that, but we'll see.
confidence and agency that Asa's trauma stripped away. Asa provides emotional depth and moral reasoning that Yoru cannot access. This is most clearly seen in their weapon creation ability. The power requires both entities, Asa's guilt and emotional attachment providing the strength, while Yoru's devil nature provides the transformation mechanism. Neither could create these weapons alone. But here's where things get interesting. Watch the relationship.
Wait, what?
It's the confidence and agency that
Yoru could definitely make the weapons on her own, right?
Asa's trauma stripped away. Asa provides emotional depth and moral reasoning that Yoru cannot
Like, it just makes the weapon stronger. Like, she has to believe she owns it for it to be hers, right?
access. This is most clearly seen in their weapon creation ability. The power requires both entities, Asa's guilt and emotional attachment
It
providing
definitely doesn't, right?
strength, while Yoru's devil nature provides the transformation mechanism. Neither could create these weapons alone.
Yoru could 100% make the weapons alone. I'm pretty sure. Maybe, I mean, she wouldn't be able to turn Asa's dress into a weapon. I mean, maybe she could if she believed she owned it, right? I don't know.
But here's where things get interesting. Watch the relationship evolve through the dating Denji arc in chapters 112 to 120. Initially, Yoru is manipulating Asa to seduce Denji so she can turn him into a weapon. But when Asa falls in love with him, something unexpected happens.
Is that what happened? I don't even remember this. Asa fell in love with him?
Turn him into a weapon. But when Asa falls in
This feeling must be love. I can't believe I'd feel any affection. Okay.
love with him, something unexpected happens.
So why? Because, like, she can't turn him into a weapon. I assume because she doesn't feel like she owns him or whatever. Right? Like, love isn't ownership or whatever. Oh, that might be the point of, like, the mother thing. Like, the mother owns her or whatever and doesn't love her or something.
In chapter 118, despite Asa's clear affection for Denji, Yoru cannot turn him into a weapon. She tries repeatedly.
That actually, that would be interesting with the mother, right? Because then you'd read the scene and you'd, like, add another layer to, like, to Asa's, like, history here.
Denji's spinal
Like,
cord
she's not being like her mother here or whatever. I don't know.
sword, but nothing happens. By chapter 168, we see something unprecedented. When Yoru gives Denji a handjob, Asa physically fights her afterward, punching Yoru in the face, but the narration describes their exchange as more reminiscent of an internal dialogue or a single mind in conflict with itself. This brings our first major theory, the Fight Club theory. The idea that Asa and Yoru aren't two separate entities, but one consciousness experiencing internal conflict. The evidence is compelling. Throughout
Is it?
part 2, we see increasing emotional synchronization. Yoru acts under
Oops. We see increasing emotional synchronization? I guess, like, love-wise we do, but I don't think in any other regard, right?
the influence of Asa's emotions. They share not just the brain, but what Yoru explicitly states are the same feelings. The text itself...
Well, yeah, they feel the same feelings, because... Wait, okay, whatever, sure, they feel the same feelings, but they are in the same brain, but okay.
describes Yoru as appearing as a hallucination to Asa, language that suggests internal psychological phenomenon rather than external spiritual entity.
She's in her brain. Okay.
More importantly, weapon strength is proportional, specifically to Asa's guilt, but not Yoru's attachment or devil nature.
Let me think. That's almost certainly not true, right? Wait, what does Yoru turn into a weapon? She turns the Falling Devil into a weapon. She turns her children into weapons, and they're incredibly strong. No, I feel like it absolutely, like, the fact that she turns her children into weapons is, like, evidence counter to this, right? Strong enough.
Strength is
Like,
proportional.
that alone, even without having to think of anything else.
Specifically to Asa's guilt, but not Yoru's attachment or devil nature.
Like, Yoru's attachment to her children is what makes them strong weapons, right?
This suggests that the power source is fundamentally Asa's psyche,
Well, it's not, yeah, it would be yours as well, right?
with Yoru potentially being a manifestation of Asa's repressed capacity for violence and self-assertion.
I'm curious, how does the gun stuff, like, tie into any of this, but...
The timing does support this. Yoru appears precisely when Asa faces death, having just realized her life was orchestrated by others. This could represent psychological splitting under extreme stress rather than external possession. This would also align with...
I mean, that's probably the most, not compelling evidence, because it's not really evidence of much, but, like, it is the most interesting thing, where it could be at that moment, it's like us as waking up or something, like, Yeah, like her awakening, her like hidden powers or something in her.
Yamamoto's style, from Fire Punch to Look Back, he consistently explores fractured identities, unreliable narrators. The War Devil could represent Asa's
Bro didn't mention Goodbye Eri, the most unreliable narrator thing of all time. Oh my god.
psyche, creating a powerful alter ego to handle what her conscious mind could not. Alright, but wait, the evidence for separation is equally compelling, what I might call the Yuji Sukuna theory.
Oh, we're gonna get spoilers here? What does this mean? Is there like a reveal in JJK that they're the same person? I don't want to know this. I'm gonna be really upset at this person if this is true.
So Yoru possesses knowledge Asa clearly does not have. Information about the Four Horsemen, combat skills.
Yeah, but then you just say the original Asa is like Yoru, right? Whatever.
Politics, memories of previous battles with Chainsaw Man. Where would this come from if she's just Asa's psychological creation? The text explicitly states that Yoru is able to read Mataka's thoughts and access her memories, while the latter is unable to do the same. This suggests two distinct conscious minds with different levels of access, not a single fractured mind. So, Yoru has distinct physical markers that appear consistently when she takes control: facial scars, ringed eyes, different posture, and mannerisms. This suggests actual spiritual possession rather than psychological disassociation. Most importantly, other devils and supernatural entities recognize and interact with Yoru as a distinct being, specifically as the War Devil. Fami knows who she is, Death knows who she is, the Chainsaw Man Church acknowledges her, devils react to her presence.
I mean, you just explain all of this by saying they all recognize Yoru or whatever, right? I don't know.
As an external entity, not a traumatized human with dissociative symptoms. While Asa's guilt affects the weapon's strength, Yoru's inherent devil abilities, such as regeneration, enhanced physical prowess, devil-specific knowledge, operate independently of Asa's psychological state. So, which is it? Are they one or two? The answer might be neither, or rather both. What the evidence really points to is something far more complex, what we might...
Oh, I'm so excited. What's going to point to? I was showering, so I couldn't give great insight, but who cares about the psych stuff? Well, certainly not me, because that just confused me. Asa falls down on purpose. That didn't even make, I didn't even get the point. It didn't even make sense. Wait, could you like explain that point to me? Because it doesn't make sense at all here. But okay. Because she's scared of succeeding. Okay, firstly, for context, Kyle did message me yesterday about this idea, and the way he conveyed it was like it convinced me. I was like, that's interesting if that happens. This video did not convince me of that at all. Like the self-sabotage thing, I guess I just don't buy it. Like, I feel like there's just no evidence for the self-sabotage. There's nothing that's coming to mind. He doesn't talk about this JGK nonsense any more than you've already seen. True. All right.
I call the
well, I forgot what I messaged you yesterday. I don't think it was about self-sabotage. Let me have a look. Oh, no. No, he messaged me. I don't want to read it unless he wants me to, but he said something else. It wasn't about that. All right. Anyway, let's keep going.
Synthesis theory
of
Asa's psychological state. So, which is it? Are they one or two? The answer might be neither, or rather both. What the evidence really points to is something far more complex, what we might call the synthesis theory.
Oh, they become the same person? Oh my goodness.
Separate entities, but are becoming increasingly integrated, creating something that transcends both.
I've seen this before. What does this? Something does this. No spoilers, please, by the way. But I'm sure I've... Something, two people, they become one eventually, they become the same person. I don't know, it's something I'm thinking of.
Categories.
And no, it's not Dragon Ball, okay? Jesus.
But itself calls their situation unusual, explicitly marking it as different from typical devil possession or psychological splitting. Watch their emotional bleeding across the chapters. Early on, Yoru is coldly logical while Asa is emotional. But by the aging devil...
I don't think she's coldly logical. I think she's just like, doesn't care about the world that she lives in, right? Like, she doesn't care about Asa's reality, but eventually she starts to care about it because of Denji, right?
Arc, Yoru is kissing Denji and admitting confusion about her feelings. Asa, meanwhile, becomes capable of violence and moral compromise she couldn't imagine before.
I think Asa was capable of violence, right? That was the whole, not violence, but like, she didn't care. Like, we had the whole point about the moral compass thing, right? Like, Asa's willing, but according to this video, Asa's willing to intentionally kill Bucky because, like, self-sabotage reasons or whatever. I think she would be capable of violence at the beginning, right? Like, she hated people, like the people around her at the time.
Of violence and moral compromise she couldn't imagine before.
Like, she said she was wishing the people that were standing in front of her in the hallway would die, right?
Detail that Yoru occupies half of Asa's brain isn't just exposition, it's a clue. This isn't possession or psychological splitting, but literal neural integration, creating a hybrid consciousness. Their weapon creation requires both elements, Asa's guilt and Yoru's devil nature. Neither could achieve this alone, suggesting that they're creating something new that transcends both of their original natures.
I'm so curious if this will happen, because nothing is ringing out in my mind where I'm like, oh yeah, that would like work well, that would be good. Like, if they become the same person, like they weren't, but like they're slowly becoming the same person. Because I don't feel like Asa is becoming anything like Yoru, and I don't feel like Yoru is becoming anything like Asa. So if this is like Fujimoto's grand idea, I am so curious how it will all come together. Because this isn't convincing me at all.
This mirrors Denji and Pochita's relationship, not by possession, not psychological splitting, but genuine transformation where both entities become something unprecedented through their union.
I don't know. I feel like Chainsaw Man is just Denji, right? And in the same way that, like, when Caulifla and Caulifla and Kale fuse together, and you get Kefla, it's like, it's just Caulifla. Like, Kale isn't really part of that, right? I don't know, it's like this, it's really this, I don't know.
But there's another layer here that purely psychological analysis will miss, the spiritual dimension of their story. From a spiritual perspective, if we use the lens of Christian theology...
Oh, God. Well, I forgot what I messaged yesterday. Oh, EliteAri, please don't read my DMs. I won't. Reiner, you idiot. Reiner? What happens with Reiner? Does Reiner fuse with someone? What does that even mean? What do you mean by Reiner?
Asa represents what we might call a soul in exile from the kingdom of heaven. Her orphanage experience wasn't just psychological trauma, it was exposure to a counterfeit worldly moral system that taught her love is a zero-sum game. The caretaker's statement that it's unfair for Asa to have a family member while others have nothing parallels religious legalism seen in biblical history. The false teaching or authority that laws and customs are above or come before God's love, and that love is limited and must be earned through suffering. Her famous clumsiness takes on a new meaning here. Asa consistently falls when she tries to live according to love and compassion in systems aligned with death and competition. Spiritually, these are not mistakes. They're inevitable friction between a godly heart and fallen systems. Yoru, meanwhile, represents what theology would call principality and power, a spiritual entity governing earthly concepts. Her obsession with proving herself more fearsome than Chainsaw.
So she's the Spider Devil is what I'm hearing. That's crazy. Okay. I hope someone out there understands my joke I just made. Wait, the Broly looking girl is actually a fusion? Well, one of them is. Wait, no, Kale is the Broly looking girl. This is Kale. Okay, let me just explain some lore here. No, wait. This is Kale. She usually looks like this. Okay. This is Kale's... I don't know if they're actually sisters or if they're just like people who like are friends who are girls who call each other like Onisa or Onichan, or I don't know what the name is, but I think something like that maybe. And then there's Kale Super Saiyan form where she like goes berserk and looks like Broly. And then there's like Kale's like, oh, I've mastered the Super Saiyan form where she like looks like a little bit like Trunks or whatever, right? Then Kale and Caulifla fuse into Kefla, who looks like this. Who's basically, in personality and even appearance, is like basically Caulifla. And Kale has very little to do with this, which is very funny, but anyway. Reiner's two sides like became one or something. Yeah, that's like the same person though. I don't know about that. The more interesting thing would be like, oh, Bertolt and Armin, like they become like they both like Annie or whatever. Like, that could be closer. I don't know about the Reiner thing. Maybe I can see what you're saying at least. Or I guess it's the opposite. Maybe. Dragon Ball Super so lame. That is what that Dragon Ball GT video said last time we streamed. I've never seen that big girl before. Well, that's Kale in Super Saiyan form.
Man mirrors the original rebellion of created beings who believe they could challenge divine authority.
When's Devilman going to come into this? You think this last section will be about Devilman?
Her inhabitation of Asa's body creates what we might call the incarnation effect. Forced to experience human limitation and vulnerability, Yoru undergoes what could be described as involuntary sanctification, transformation through proximity to human experience. Her growing capacity for feeling, such as blushing, kissing, and hesitation to harm, suggests something unprecedented in spiritual warfare. Not love defeating power, but love transforming power itself.
Power?
So where does this leave us? What are the implications for where the story is heading? Recent chapters show America recreating nuclear weapons, giving Yoru a massive power boost. But this comes precisely when she's becoming most vulnerable to love, when she's unable to turn Denji into a weapon.
Wait, was this before the next chapter where she like... Wait, was even... Yeah, wait. I wonder if this is before the next chapter where she like kind of destroys the world or whatever.
Despite having the perfect opportunity. Now with Lady Death introducing herself as Little D and the prophecy approaching, okay. Asa and Yoru find themselves at the center of cosmic events that will determine humanity's fate. But their personal story suggests something more profound.
But he did say Little D, did he? Wait.
To turn Denji into a weapon despite having...
It's Lil D, not Little D.
The perfect opportunity. Now with Lady Death Introducing herself as Little D and the prophecy approaching, Asa and Yoru find themselves at the center of cosmic events that will determine humanity's fate. But their personal story suggests something more profound than just another supernatural battle. They're becoming something that transcends the categories of human and devil, individual and collective, or of war and peace. Notice how their abilities have evolved. Initially, weapon creation required touch and verbal commands. Now, Asa can transform objects telekinetically just by thinking their names. This suggests that their integration is deepening at a fundamental level.
I'm trying to even remember. Was that true? She could only touch them? I feel like that is the thing. Like, it did evolve at some point. Like, they became stronger when for war was feared more, right?
The question isn't whether they'll remain separate or become one, it's what kind of unprecedented being they are becoming together. What makes the Asa and Yoru relationship so brilliant is how it exemplifies everything that makes Fujimoto a master storyteller. He consistently chooses nuanced explanations over simple reveals. Rather than giving us a clean answer about whether they're one or two beings, he's explored something more complex, genuine transformation that transcends traditional categories. He honors his supernatural premises while exploring profound psychological depth. Yoru can be genuinely the war devil while also representing Asa's repressed agency. Asa can be genuinely human while also embodying spiritual truths about exile and redemption. Most importantly, he focuses on transformation rather than static identity. His characters don't just grow, they metamorphose into something beyond their original nature. This mirrors what we saw with Denji and Pochita, or even with Aki and the Gun Devil, and with Power and her evolution. Fujimoto's genius lies in showing how relationship, even with entities that should be incompatible, can create something entirely new. So, what's the truth about Asa and Yoru? The truth is that they're becoming something that makes the question completely irrelevant. Whether you see them as one fractured soul learning to integrate, or two separate beings learning to love across impossible boundaries, or something entirely unprecedented emerging from their union in the Chainsaw Man universe, the real story here is about transformation. Sometimes the most profound healing happens not by return to who we were, but by having the courage to embrace what we are now, and choosing to overcome our tendency to retreat from the world and build a life where we're focused on helping others. And maybe that's exactly what Asa and Yoru need, not to be fixed, but to be transformed into something beautiful, terrible, and completely new. In the end, their story reveals that identity is not fixed, and that love can transcend even the boundary between human and devil, and that sometimes the greatest victories come not through conquest, but through the willingness to become something unprecedented together. Right, that's it for today, guys. What do you think? Are we watching psychological integration, spiritual transformation, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into Chainsaw Man's most complex characters. This was my first video essay, so I'd like some additional feedback on how I presented this content. And if you like the video, make sure you drop a like as well. And I'll be back next week for the next Chainsaw.
Oh wow, I wonder if he came back. Firstly, engaging video. I liked it. You know, well done. I completely disagree with it, or at least no, I don't think he provided me with much. He didn't convince me with any of his points, but I think it's well made. The subtitles, surprisingly, I thought they were weird at the beginning, but they kind of, I was reading them a lot. They really got me, you know? I was looking at the bottom of the screen here a lot. But anyway. 17,000 views. Oh my god, I should make a Chainsaw Man video. I actually definitely should make a Chainsaw Man video, by the way. Because the movie's coming out soon, and I've always wanted to make a Chainsaw Man video. There's like a bunch that I could make, so I probably should. Man, this guy's been grinding. How many videos? Holy. Yuri tries to turn Denji into a weapon. Does she? Okay, so that's the first video essay. The truth about Kobeni. Did we watch this? I feel like I've seen this.
In his story, obsessed with power and
Wait, we did watch this, didn't we?
In his story, obsessed with anything extraordinary, she doesn't save the world. She barely.
I don't know. I'm curious what one of these streams are like. Does he just scroll through?
What's going on?
Oh no, it's on Manga Plus. It's not a piracy site at least. 2,000 views, holy. Alright. Well, that was interesting. What is this?
We are back with another chapter review. You may have noticed that I didn't do one last week. That wasn't because of any particular occasion.
I mean, cool. Chapter reviews, alright. Just the little one at the end. Okay. I love Devilman, true. I don't want to make a Chainsaw Man video now. Why not? I don't want these runoff views from these losers watching this movie. Well, too bad. It's disgusting. I don't know why you'd be against the movie. Alright. Next up. Also, what do the comments say, I wonder? Asa falling at the most crucial moments is a form of subconscious self-sabotage. How does it make sense to people? I don't get it. Asa falling at the most crucial moments is a form of subconscious self-sabotage. Makes so much sense. Yoru in the latest chapter wearing Falling Devil, an entity that plays on trauma. True. And in the past had led Asa to suicide. Maybe. I don't remember. I vaguely remember that. As clothes feel significant. That is true. This is what Kyle pointed out a little bit. I just don't see the self-sabotage thing at all. Anyway. Kira, or Kira, as they say, should have got caught way sooner. This is going to be a terrible video, I can already tell. But let's see.
Kira is kind of an idiot. Not actually, obviously, but the older I get, Kira is kind of an idiot. Not actually, obviously, but the older I...
True. He never should have challenged L through the TV, because if he didn't, then he never would have been able to hunt him down. But that is the flaw of Light's character, which is also probably the appeal of Light's character, that he has a big ego, and we like that about him.
The more I realize how silly a lot of Death Note is. Light Yagami is the prime and sole suspect in an investigation that spans 6 years, spearheaded by a globally recognized detective with a 100% conviction rate. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like bro gets away with it for way too long. He's incredibly smart, sure, but if someone were to ask me what Light's greatest asset is,
Oh, wait. I took this the complete other way. I don't know why. I guess I misread the title or something. I was making my joke about the Kira pronunciation, but I thought this was about to say that he definitely shouldn't have got caught because he was being so ridiculous and, like, being so obvious in who he was. Okay.
I would have to say his luck. I recently started rewatching Death Note with my girlfriend, and there are so many times I was left thinking, yo, how thick is this dude's plot armor? And so it got me thinking, what are all the times Light could have or...
This is actually so funny. I thought it was the complete opposite. I've only ever seen people criticize Light for being really dumb, but this is like someone saying he's, like, way too, like, smart, or, like, the plot is, like, protecting him or something. That's really funny.
Realistically should have probably gotten caught. There are about 4 major instances where I think the story could have gone incredibly different, and the last one in particular,
So we got the scene on the rooftop, where he's, like, washing Elle's feet or whatever, or something like that. Something with Rem in the hidden notebook, I'm guessing, in the memory wipe or something. This, I don't even know what this could be. Is this the scene at the... Oh, this rings a bell. It's Misa walks in or something. This has something to do with Misa, saying it's Light's girlfriend or something, right? And then this is some generic scene where he's, like, in his room. I don't know.
I think is the biggest plot.
It'll be revealed that Asa is tripping herself on purpose subconsciously. That could happen. I could definitely see that happening if it becomes a reveal. But I just don't see anything like, nothing is coming to mind that is making me think that that's the case though. It is certainly possible I'm forgetting something really obvious. Like, when I think of Asa falling, I think of her falling on Baki, obviously. I think of her falling in the guillotine, like, saving Denji from prison arc. I think of her falling when she's, like, saving the cat that her mum, like, dies for. Those are, like, the 3 big things that feel like falling to me. But none of them, to me, feel like self-sabotage. The first one with Asa and the connection to the other kids or whatever feels like a... what does it feel like? To me, it feels like, it just feels like more of a burden on her. Like, the point of that scene is that it's like Asa, even when she tries to connect with people, like, it just, like, I think it's a more of a reinforcement of her current belief than it is, like, her trying to avoid that belief or whatever. And the belief being that she's, like, she hates other people and she's different from other people and stuff like that. When the conclusion to that first chapter is that she realizes that everyone is like her, right? I think that's more so the thing than a self-sabotage thing. The thing with her mother, that's obviously going to be reframed, like, next chapter. But for now, what does that feel like? Asa trips, saving a cat. I think it's all the same thing, where it's all, like, it's like all trying to push Asa back, but the revelation eventually is that she will, like, keep pushing forward regardless of something, right? I don't know. It's just something what I'm thinking. It just fits EliteAri. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, why was Light meant to get caught sooner? What were the moments?
Plot hole in the entirety of Death Note. But before we go too stupid, hi, my name is Rayshawn Gibson. I make video essays on nerdy stuff. If you enjoy...
Whoa, he has Kyle's microphone, I think.
this video at any point in time, you should like the video. And if you get to the end card, YouTube will recommend another video of mine that you'll probably like as well. Let's get to it. From the moment Light gave away his location in the console region, he was working on borrowed time. The fact that this happens in the second chapter of the series is a testament to his recklessness, narrow-mindedness, and ego. In fact, I think Light kind of leaves breadcrumbs across the entire story. The first point I can think of is the mistake of allowing Soichiro Yagami to have access to classified documents associated with this case after his son became the prime suspect in the Kira case. I think the Yagami household was already dysfunctional before the story starts. They have a nice house, but the only thing we see of Light's home life is he has a dad who spends all his time at work and a mom who we only see expressing love over his many achievements. But the fact nobody notices his sudden withdrawals and the many bizarre conversations and noises he's making in his room is kind of weird. Also, can we be real for a second? I know it's a meme in the Death Note community, but there is no way on earth his family didn't hear him talking to himself in his room. Going on that same line of thought, I think
they didn't, right?
I think the whole time they had cameras set up in his room is weird. Nope.
Like, there's two possibilities. You watch the anime and you notice that, okay, so it seems that the characters don't ever comment on the idea that Light is talking to himself in his room. So there's two possibilities. One is that they don't notice. Or like the second is that they do notice, but they just don't say anything. Well, one of them seems more likely. I don't know, but who knows? I guess it is
Nobody
possible.
thought it was weird that a 17-year-old boy just stares at pornographic magazines for extended periods of time without touching himself or even showing visible signs of sexual attraction. That's not something I think would have gotten him caught. I just think it's weird that nobody ever points it out. Even still, though, something to note about this whole ordeal.
Okay, I think we got the point of this video. Wow. Oh wait, what are the comments gonna say?
Kira is kind of an idiot.
I can see them going either way. Bro, no cap, I figured out who Kira was in the first episode. Very funny. When L was leading the task force, he lost. When Light was leading the task force, he lost. The task force are the biggest bums in his story. That's kind of funny. I mean, L knew he was Kira right from the start. Oh, we don't know. He probably suspected very heavily, right? From the start. The real tricky part was getting the proof so he could be convicted in a court of law. True. But also probably not, you know. If he thought he was Kira and he was killing people, he could probably just, like, kill Light, right? I don't know. Alright. What's next? Time bomb doesn't work. Oh, this is going to be another boring video. But you know what? It's a small channel, so could be good. The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the Insider Scoop. Ooh.
Today, I had the pleasure of seeing George R.R. Martin with my own 2 eyes at the Night of the Seven Kingdoms panel at Comic-Con. Now, I am going to do a full trailer breakdown of Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but today, I want to talk about what I experienced and saw at this panel because it was truly something special. The first thing I will say is just seeing George R.R. Martin in person is surreal. It is so incredible to see the source of all of the characters and all the things that you love so much in one person. He is hilarious and talks so much. Definitely threw them off time a bunch of times. He even spoiled to the crowd that Aegon is a Targaryen, even though most people knew that, but it was still funny.
Aegon is a Targaryen? What, isn't that obvious? Duncan Egg? Isn't that like the thing?
To watch the people he was with just panic when he said it. But what I really want to speak about today...
Wait, what? Did he just spoil me on something? What does that mean? Aegon and what? He must be Duncan Egg. Aegon, I'm assuming, right? I don't know.
Is the way in which the core of the story has really been seen in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The way in which every single person that was on the panel was speaking about the story was truly beautiful to see other people be so passionate about something that I love so much. The head showrunner of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms knows what he's doing. He's very clearly not only read all 3 novellas.
All right, who's the showrunner? I mean, I assume it would be Ira Parker, right? How's the dragon? Okay, I don't know anything. You know what? Okay, fair enough. True. We saw how great and funny George was in that trailer. True.
Time Bomb has to be one of the biggest ships I've ever seen grace the internet. It was so massive.
Time? Really? Maybe. I guess I do see a bunch of fan art about it. What is the biggest ship I've ever seen on the internet? Oh god, I don't even know. I don't really see many ships. Like, there's the really obvious ones coming to mind, but they're just like the main character ships in like shows. Like Mikasa and Eren, Korra and Asami, Aang and Katara, Ochako and Deku. I don't know. Like, it's just thinking of everything. Who knows what the biggest... Sherlock and Watson. I don't think show owners is supposed to know that Egg is a Targaryen. That's why he shaved his head. Oh. my understanding is like Dunk and Egg is a story of two Targaryen brothers, but maybe not. Maybe Duncan or whatever isn't a brother. Isn't Egg like Aegon, like the guy from not Egg? Wait, isn't he the guy from the show, like from Game of Thrones? Or do I just like know way too much about this already? I don't know. Sasuke X Naruto, true, but I haven't seen Naruto, so I have no idea.
Massive, in fact, that the creators of Arcane themselves bought into it and released a whole music video about the two lovebirds. And I
well, they date for a whole episode, right?
really just don't think it works at all. Now, before you leave a hate comment, just bear with me and let me explain. And for those of you who have possibly watched my Arcane content a year ago...
This is going to be a crazy video. What do you mean it doesn't work? It did work, right? How does it not going to work? What does that mean?
I'm back. My big issue with Time Bomb is like everything else that occurs in Season 2, there just simply isn't enough time allocated to the development that they are trying to give the characters.
Oh, it like doesn't work because it's like not satisfying. Okay. I thought he meant like another direction. Okay.
Now let's have a little refresher for Echo and Jinx start off Season 2 relative to one.
This is going to be so boring. Okay. True. It doesn't have enough time, so it just doesn't work. Okay. I mean, you love Sherlock, right? I do love Sherlock. What does this have to do with anything? Like, are you shipping me and Sherlock? Wait. No, Maester Aemond is his brother. Oh, Aemond, that's right. Okay, that makes sense. Sherlock and Watson from the show specifically is massive. That is true. I do remember in back in the Tumblr days, it was massive, yeah. And Dunk is just a commoner. Stupid. Oh wow, look, I don't know anything. All those Alt-Shift-X videos I watched back in the day didn't teach me anything. Why you need to watch Taku's Original Sin?
Despite the title
Bro, it's got a warning, a content warning, just like the show.
Despite the title of this video, I really want to preface that this show isn't going to be for...
I don't know who I was watching. I was watching someone. Who was it? I don't even know. But they were talking about the Hasan dog clip or whatever, and they prefaced the thing by saying, like, guys, if you don't want to see animal abuse, you know, trigger warning or whatever, don't watch this. I'm like, Jesus Christ. The dog just, like, made a yelping noise. But anyway.
For everyone. Please make sure that you take note of all the content warnings available before diving headfirst into the anime. Now,
you know what? We're done. If a video has a 20-second trigger warning, I think I can't handle it, okay? So we're just gonna avoid that one. I don't want to be psychologically destroyed, you know?
I've said it once and I will say it again.
Why Devilman is more controversial now than ever before? What does that even mean? Was it controversial? Ay. Where's Kyle finding these videos?
Devilman is beyond its time. Go Nagai has a unique and unrivaled ability to create works of art that are often too gruesome and controversial for the general public. But those who aren't scared away by the themes are met with one of the most thought-provoking stories that's come out of the anime.
Having rewatched Heavenly Delusion recently, and having started rewatching Chainsaw Man, I absolutely want to watch Devilman Crybaby, and it might be my next anime I watch. We'll see. Purely because the composer is the same person who composes like Heavenly Delusion and Chainsaw Man, is my understanding.
Anime and manga space. Two boys who seem like near opposites from the get-go make a pact to save the world from demons by sacrificing themselves to the very demons they're fighting in hopes that their pure hearts will allow them to control the literal demon within, of course giving them powers to fight back and protect humanity from certain doom. What follows isn't your typical superhero coming-of-age story, but instead devolves into utter madness as Akira Fudo and Ryo Asuka become the last line of defense in the war the rest of the planet is blind to. But Devilman also isn't about warfare despite the death and destruction coming around the corner. Instead, Go Nagai's real motive was to tackle the complexities of the human condition. What?
You know, about communism or something, right? I vaguely remember this.
Is good and evil? What does it mean to be human? Do you truly have an enemy? What is the trajectory of humanity? Devilman makes me wonder whether or not Go Nagai is a real truth seer, because the themes and ideas posed within the story are even more relevant today than they were.
Oh no, wait, this was the thing about... Wait, I don't even remember. I don't remember the Devilman discussion enough. Wasn't there like a whole point about like how he's philosophizing about stuff that he like doesn't, like how could he possibly know, or like, it was something like, I don't know.
Okay. Or in 1972, and perhaps that is why this is my third attempt to get a Devilman video out to the general public. So if you're interested in the larger story of Devilman, I definitely recommend going back and checking out a video we did a while.
What is this? Is this like the OVA or something? This looks cool. It looks like Berserk.
Larger story of Devilman, I definitely recommend going back and checking out a video we did a while ago. It's one we spent a lot of time on and of course, ended up getting nothing for it. So why is that? And why was our first Devilman video treated the same way by YouTube? I mean, it is a story that is...
Is there nudity in it? I wonder, who knows?
50 years old. I just don't understand how it could possibly still be worth, you know, censoring. So let's get into that.
Hey guys, Tyler here, the half of Bonsai Pop you never hear unless you listen to the Bonsai Popcast. Mike's currently somewhere in the middle of Wyoming driving home, so I'll fill you in on today's sponsor. Our friends over at SES to get $30 off. Incredible piece of art.
Of media, the 1987 and 90 OVAs are nothing to sneeze at. Within the first 15 minutes, you're going to get some, maybe some mistreatment of animals and some things that happen to people that end up with them dying in Minecraft, violence in Minecraft, bullying in Minecraft, graphically deranged self-unveiling in Minecraft, family assassination in Minecraft, and some...
I'm incredibly bored. Okay. Lamal EliteAri remembers the dumb philosophizing. That is true. I hate when anything does that. And I guess Devilman did it too. I don't know. It was so dumb. Yeah, the food chain. That's right. It was like a whole thing about that I was just like, I don't know if this makes any sense. Anyway. Okay. Is there anything else I should talk about? I'm getting tired of streaming right now, okay? Yeah. I'm just tired in general as well. Perfect Blue Remastered. Is this actually gonna look good this time? Nope. Still looks terrible. It is impressive how this looks so bad, right? Like, this is a remaster, and we're meant to be like, oh wow, it looks so good and modern. Anyway. Well, not modern, but like clear or whatever. No Other Choice, official trailer. I want to watch that rock movie. Smash Machine or whatever. I want to watch this. But I don't want to go to a theater for it. Because I'm already going to a theater for Chainsaw Man whenever that comes out. Yeah. Alright. I guess I'm done, guys. Expect my digest. Hopefully this weekend. And that's probably it. And remember, I was gonna say something about Hasan Piker. I don't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, remember, Hasan Piker may have shocked his dog, but probably didn't. IGN gave that rock movie a 7. What does IGN know about anything? I don't know why you like IGN so much, by the way. You're the only person I know that talks about IGN. Like, unironically, I can't think of a single other person. Does Miller mention IGN? I don't know. Or Minty, maybe? I don't know. I was about to say something else. IGN gave the rock movie a 7. Chainsaw Man movie is coming out soon. Hollow Knight is a game I'm playing. I don't know. Alright. That was very loud. It just echoed in my room. I love the respect people... I love the respected people over at IGN. That is true. Okay. Anyway, thanks for coming, guys. See you probably next Friday. When I return to streaming. They gave me all the great podcasters I listen to. What, the kind of funny people? Are they like from IGN? Oh my god. Excuse me. Bye-bye.